Hi everyone, it's Lucy from My Crazy Craft Life, and today I'm here with a design team post for Dies R Us. I'm going to be using today from Yvonne Creations Timeless Objects the Endless Times frame. That is what I'm using as my die with this project, and this is a super fun die that gives you the ability to create a steampunk look really simply because it's all right there with the die. Now, what I ended up cutting this out with is Rihanna, I think it's Rihanna, foil paper. The stamps that I'm using is from Brutus Monroe, and that is called Steampunk. And I'm going to stamp that with some Memento Tuxedo black ink because I am going to be doing some Copic coloring. Now, as part of this die set, you receive a small oval frame, and I'm going to be using that to cut out this image. And with that, the frame is a little bit smaller than the oval frame that is part of the large die, so it's going to give you kind of a matte background on there. So with this card, I am going to be making it 5.5 inch square. So I took 11.5 inch piece of cardstock for my card base, and then I cut it down to 5.5 inches and then scored it in the middle at 5.5 inches, and then just fold that over and score it well. Then I am taking a piece of black cardstock and I'm cutting that down to 4.25 inches. And this die is just about exactly 5 inches square, so it works perfectly to cut out the image that's going to fit on that black mat. So I'm going to end up using the gold foil paper from Renea to cut that out. And that's what it looks like. Like I said, it is so much fun and it makes it so easy to just create an entire steampunk look. So here is the coloring. Like I said, I used my Copic colors. I left the white background because I thought it was a good contrast with the black mat and the gold frame paper. So I left the white just that I stamped the image on just white and only colored the image on this. If you ever watch some of my videos, you will know that I have a real problem leaving things just stark white in general, but like I said, I think this did a lot of good contrast, or gave it good contrast. And this coloring is really simple. It is just some skin tones, some browns for the hair, a little bit of the reds for her lips and cheeks, and then just some greens and the blue greens from the Copic colors to do this coloring. And turquoise, the turquoise blend there is probably, the BGs are probably one of my favorite blends to use, and it's also my favorite colors, so that is why I decided to make that with this hat. And like I said, I just thought the colors went well with the black and white and gold theme to give it that contrast that it needed to really stand out here. And this is super simple coloring. There's not a lot with the image as far as the coloring. The hat is very large, so you do kind of have to get that colored in. But beyond that, like I said, it's pretty simple just with the tones, the skin tone, the hair color, and then the hat itself. Now, I will say that part of this video I was zoomed in, so you're only going to be able to see portions of it after the coloring. But I will say that you will get the idea, and especially how simple this is because of this large frame. It is very simple to make a card with the entire background pretty much being done if you want it done at that level. And then I just did some fun things with the image itself once I finished coloring it and added it onto the card base itself. So there's the image as it was completed once it was colored. And there's a lot of shadowing with these stamps, so that's something also to think about. So this is where you can see I forgot to zoom out after I was looking at that. So first I'm going to just glue this down onto the black background. So I glued the background layer, the background layer on the black from the black cardstock, like I said, and I cut that at 5.25 inches. The card base is 5.5 inches, so that gives it that nice border, an eighth of an inch border. And then you're going to get an eighth of an inch border with this as well, because like I said, this is the 5 inches. And I'm just going to adhere that down to the card base. And then that is pretty much going to complete the entire kind of card itself. And the rest of it is more just embellishments. Now I do take on the image and I adhere that down with some liquid glue. And I did use liquid glue on this just because it would pretty much be impossible to try to use adhesive as such as roll tape or anything like that. I did pop up the sentiment. The sentiment that I used was from Riley & Company, and it's from Happy Birthday Old Friend, but I only used the Happy Birthday portion. And I heat embossed onto a black strip Happy Birthday with some gold embossing powder. And then I cut that down and used my crocodile just to round out the edges, so it is literally just the Happy Birthday on the black background from the strip. Then I have a sequin mix that was also from Brutus Monroe that's called Steampunk mix. And it just gives a lot of the steampunk colors, the bronzes, the coppers, the golds, the silvers. And I just use those sequins, and they're all different shapes and sizes, and I just put those around the card. Like I said, I adhered the image down to the center, and like I was saying before, see the mat that's kind of behind it, because the oval cutout die that is part of this set actually cuts out the image a little bit smaller than what the oval is in the large frame. I put some of those sequin pieces all over the image itself as well. And then I'm going to take some glossy accents, and all of the glass or the gems that are on the image, I'm going to use the glossy accents on to kind of give it that cool glass look when you're looking at it. So on her glasses, on the glasses on top of her head, or I'm sorry, she only has one, her glass piece that she has in her eye, the ones that are on top of the hat, and then as well as the ones that are on her jewels, I'm also going to be using that. So that is pretty much going to finish up this card once I get through with that. I do notice in a moment that I was zoomed in, and I zoom out of it. But you can, like I said, definitely see how simple this card was to put together because of that background die that I was able to get. And that is pretty much it for this card. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this video. Hit subscribe below, and make sure you head over to Dies R Us for their challenge over there and to pick up this awesome die. Thanks. Everybody stay safe and stay healthy. Take care.